Whew, hello again, or hi if you are new. My name is Chelsea. Here we are, and I hope you're ready. You're ready for some opinions as the downfall of Monat continues, and people are still trying to recruit people. Let's watch an opportunity call that was live on Instagram with one of their current top people. So I don't know where exactly this girl is on the comp plan, but I do know she is past the motor club thing because she has a Cadillac. So, but we're gonna go through and we are going to watch her and one of her people in her downline do a little opportunity call. This live was done 4 days ago. Meanwhile, like just about 3 days ago, the very first market partner, Tony, ended up getting terminated. And I did that in my previous video. I covered her statement and we talked a little bit about that. I think it's interesting that all of this kind of fallout is happening. And even before that, the former president, Stuart McMillan, has filed a complaint against Monat as well after he is no longer with them. They're probably losing a lot of reps underneath them. And the opportunity calls and lives and in posts are probably going to amp up for those people that still believe in the company for whatever reason. So let's watch this opportunity call with a couple of Monat girlies and see how cringy it is. And before we officially get started, everything in this video, my opinion, based on my experience in Monat as well, but it is my opinion nonetheless, and the people in my videos, please do not go after them. Just leave them alone, but they present themselves as public figures, and so everything is a-okay and covered under fair use. Let's watch.
We are going live today. Let me get situated real quick. And I'm going to bring on my mentor, Jordan. She has been working the biz for like 6 years. I love to bring her on here and get her talking.
Her eyes are like really blue. That's pretty.
She's won the Cadillac. She's in the 100K plus club. So
I like that she said, I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. She said that she won the Cadillac. Absolutely, that's not it. No, that's not how that works. She scammed a bunch of people and made her way up the ranks and did not even get a free Cadillac. She is getting a $500 stipend as long as she maintains a rank to keep paying for that Cadillac, of which is in her name. So if this girl, however long, whether she got a lease or she bought this Cadillac, she has to continue paying it. If she's no longer with Monat or if she doesn't maintain that rank, she won't get that $500 stipend. And depending on which Cadillac you get, it's more than $500 a month. Anyways, there's my little rant on the motor club thing. In case anybody is not sure how that works, that's basically the summary of it. And let's get back to the video.
all right.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Just getting situated. Look
I
at
know,
your
me
hair.
Do you like it?
Love it. They're like little fun buns.
They're like, I didn't use any hair ties or anything. They're little mini clips. And I literally just did it before I hopped on here for the first time ever.
And you're like, gotta put them back. I just got my hair cut. I'm feeling nice and fresh. And I'm
Yes.
loving it.
That's the best feeling ever.
I know. I was just telling everybody this is our second week of our little opportunity call series. So it's been going good so far. I love doing this. It kind of like gives people the background scoop of like what me and you do here.
Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like people look at what we do. Well, at least I did before I started. They look at what we do and they're like, wow, like I could never do that. Like, wow, look at the way that she is just like talking on camera, like it's no big deal. And like, you know, they see it from the outside. They see like the chapter 10, but they don't see where we started. So let's get.
It's not, that's not what everybody's thinking. That might be what some people are thinking. But some people are thinking, oh my God, can she stop trying to recruit me into her business constantly on her social media? That's probably what a lot of people are actually thinking, in my opinion.
So Jordan obviously brought me on, and so I was a VIP for a really, really long time. A VIP is just a person who signs up under a mentor and uses the products and like takes advantage of the discounts. So I did that with Jordan for what, 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, Claire was one of my very first customers, like in the beginning.
I know. I was like always following along. Jordan was always reaching out saying like, hey, this could be a really good opportunity for you. Like, she was very consistent and steady, and I kept telling her no. So it's okay if you've told your mentor no before. It happens. Like, it's okay. But basically, I came around.
But it's not okay for your mentor to not take no for an answer and just like keep bugging you and bugging you and bugging you until you finally do it. That's just yucky. Like, no is a complete sentence and you don't need to keep going after them. But that's not what they teach you in network marketing companies. They teach you that no means not right now. And that is disgusting.
It's okay. But basically, I came around last year of 2023 in January, and I reached back out to Jordan on my own. And I said, Jordan, I want to do this opportunity. I kept seeing you post. I was like, you know, if she can do it, I can do this too. And so that's how I kind of ended up here and working the business. What
And you
about
guys,
you,
that's
Jordan?
the best mindset to have around this. Instead of looking at us saying, wow, like, lucky her, wow, I could never do that. Say, no, if she can do that, like, then I absolutely can. I'm like,
But that's like not true. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, you can say that about like some things. Like, you know, if little old me can start a YouTube channel, you can too. Like, literally, you can start a YouTube channel. Friggin' girl, go for it. It's a lot of work. I love making YouTube content, so that's fine. But it's just like in this situation, especially with the recent events with Monat, not everybody can do it. And just in any pyramid scheme, quote unquote, in any network marketing company, it's not like that. Not everybody can be at the top. It's just not possible.
literally saying that it's possible. All I have to do is like try, you know?
Absolutely. I agree. And I definitely saw that in all the girls posting. I'm like, they're just like everybody else. Like, they're simple people. They're mamas at home with the kids. They're nurses. They're 9 to 5ers.
And
Like,
also seeing how much people post and they're working their business, that's not any indication of how much money they're making. That's an indication of how much money they're attempting to make. But I mean, yeah, sure, you can post on the internet all you want and say I'm working from home and making money, but you're doing that to get people recruited underneath you so you can actually finally make them money. So it's this is just not it.
anyone can do this business.
Mhm.
But Jordan, how did you end up here and like in all the places you're at now with the business?
It's so crazy because I didn't like set out on this path to get to where I am today. I, was going back to school. I was getting ready to get a second degree, and then I found out that I was pregnant with my first daughter, and that kind of threw a wrench in like my plans.
Hmm.
So I ended up, sitting out a year of school. But after I had my daughter, I went through crazy postpartum hair loss, you guys. Like, I'm saying, it was awful. So I kept seeing these products pop up and like before and afters, and I was like, listen, I'm spending so much money on like professional.
I'm pretty sure that they're not even allowed to post before and afters with Monat, and postpartum hair loss, I'm pretty sure is like a hormonal thing. Your hair will start to grow back with or without Monat shampoo. And if you're looking to stimulate your follicles because your hair has thinned out, if it is not a hormonal thing, just in general, the only thing that is proven, this is me as a hairstylist telling you, the only thing that is actually proven to grow your hair back if the follicle is not like completely dead is minoxidil. I believe that is the ingredient, which is like what can be found in Rogaine. That is what you need, and it's not the ingredients that is in Monat. And allegedly, the ingredients in Monat has changed in the last couple of years. So I did do a little video about the ingredients that are in Monat, and I'll post that. I'll link it here. It was just my opinion. There is that one controversial ingredient, but however, it is not updated. And again, I have heard that there have been some ingredients changes in the formulation changes in the shampoos. So I don't know what it is like now. That is an old video. So just preface with that. When it is like something that is involving like hormones and postpartum depression or postpartum hair loss or anything like that, it's a different imbalance in your body, and your shampoo cannot make that grow back. Like, it's just That's not how that works.
brands, salon quality products, and nothing is working. So like, let me just give it a go. Truly, I had nothing to lose. I think I had like 4 hairs on my head total. So it was like, listen, it's only up from here. So I got the products and fell in love so quickly. I think it was like my first wash. I remember texting the girl I got the products from, and I was like, okay, this feels different. My scalp feels like it can breathe for the first time ever. My hair felt more manageable, but it was as time went on, like a couple weeks down the road, I noticed like little baby hair sprouting up, and I was like, this is not for real. Like, I'm saying things. And so like my wheels were turning. I was like, there is more to this, because
Or maybe like your body was like finally starting to regulate and those hairs were growing back. Just a thought.
I know that women want to feel confident about their hair. I know that women are spending so much money on products,
Right.
and if anybody's like me, they're not seeing the results that they're wanting to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got curious. I ended up jumping into the business, truly not knowing what I was getting myself into. I had no idea the opportunity that I had in my hands. All I knew was that I loved the products and I wanted to help other people love their hair. And that is how my business started. I just, was sharing my journey on social media, and, people were like, I want to try it too. So I'd hook them up with the products. And then before you knew it, people were like, okay, like I want to do what you do. And I'm like, it makes sense, right? Like we're all
Why do you want to recruit your own competition? If I mean, we do have proof again that Monat was allegedly running as an actual pyramid scheme. So and when I say we, I mean CC Suarez did a whole video about it. In order for it to not be a pyramid scheme, then the majority of the money made needs to be made from retail sales. So tell me why you would recruit competition as well, and then you would be selling less in retail sales, but then you are making more money. It's because you're making more money by having a team. So you're making more money from recruiting and getting those bonuses from your team, not from your own personal retail sales. That's how it makes it a pyramid scheme, right? In my opinion, based on facts. Yeah.
washing our hair anyways. And so that's how it started, you guys. It started out so small and it started to snowball. And like Claire said, now we're like 5.5 years in. I've been able to turn my little hair care bundle. Like, I think I got this many products. I was able to turn a $200 hair care bundle into a multiple 6-figure income. And I drive a fully paid for Cadillac, you guys, for just
It's not fully paid for. We went through this earlier when I gave you that rundown about the motor club, and multiple 6-figure income is one hell of an income claim, and she shouldn't be saying that to people, because it's definitely like a recruiting tactic, and it's not possible for everybody. It's not, and I don't think she's even allowed to say that, like per Monat compliance and per the Attorney General of Florida.
helping people love their hair and helping people build their businesses. It's been truly so amazing. Now I realize the opportunity that I have in my hands. And I think the benefit of that is that now when I bring on girls to show them what I do, I'm like, listen, girl, this is what's possible. Like, I tell them off the bat, that way they're not like, just like, oh, this is fun, like I was in the beginning. They can like really get to it and make something happen.
And see things. Because like when you start out, you're like just trying to like stay afloat. You're new to something, and it's okay to be new. Like, our job as your mentor is to like kind of guide you and take off some of that like heaviness. But yeah, in the beginning, I remember I was on a call with Sam Hodges. She's like multi-million-dollar commission earner, and I was like, she asked me what my goal was with Monat was, and I said, I just want to help people.
Which
And
is
I did.
great.
And I did. I wanted to help as many people as I could, and I'm still doing that. But like, guys, that's where I started. Now I have a whole business aspect of it. I've grown so much. While my mission still is to help as many people, I have some like knowledge behind it now on how to do that.
Yeah.
You mean like now it's all about making as much money as you possibly can? That's what it sounds like to me.
I
So you
love
don't just
that.
come in here like not knowing which direction you're gonna go. Like, if you have a vision, like, we can help you make that possible.
Yeah, 100%. So I want to ask you some questions about time, because this actually came up with one of my newer market partners and I just asked you before this. But I
Mhm.
want you to talk about, your schedule, because you're a nurse. Well, I don't want to get into it. You do it. Talk about your schedule, how you make this work with what you do, and sometimes crazy shifts.
So I'm actually like insanely busy. I run around all the time and I'm a travel nurse. So I move every 3 months. So I pick up all my belongings. I bring my husband with me. He's also a travel nurse and we jump around all over. We just finished up in Oregon and now I'm in California. So it can be a little difficult, right? Because most of my customers are in Indiana, which is a different time zone. But I've kind of got my routine. I've kind of got things down to where I stay up a little bit later if I'm working night shift. And I kind of like punch out like 30 minutes to an hour of like good solid work before I go to bed because I know that like I won't wake up. Like if I if I say I'll do it before my shift starts, like I'm lying. I'm not going to. So I have to do it before I fall asleep. And then, on my lunch break at work, I just like do some things in the middle of the night. On day shift, if I got a lunch break, I'd step away and like kind of eat and do some work there too. But sometimes I'm on the road and I'm like driving or in the passenger seat and like texting some of my clients, or I'll jump on a FaceTime real quick and, good quality conversations, even though my schedule is wild and bizarre. What
Mhm.
about you being at home, like with the kiddos and stuff? How do you do it
So
all?
before we move on from
Oh,
Claire, oh, this is fun. Like I was in the beginning, they can like really get to it and make something happen.
and see things. Because like when you start out, you're like just trying to like stay afloat. You're new to something, and it's okay to be new. Like our job as your mentor is to like kind of guide you and take off some
Mhm.
of that like heaviness.
Exactly.
But
Okay, sorry, my phone froze. This seems to happen sometimes, like when I'm doing my screen recordings for my reaction videos. So sorry if it like kind of repeats a little bit, but I might have found more to say. So
in the beginning, I remember I was on a call with Sam Hodges. She's like multi-million-dollar commission earner, and I was like, she asked me what my goal was with Monat was, and I said, I just want to help people.
Which
And
is
I did.
great.
And I did. I wanted to help as many people as I could, and I'm still doing that. But like, guys, that's where I started. Now I have a whole business aspect of it. I've grown so much. While my mission still is to help as many people, I have some like knowledge behind it now on how to do that.
Yeah, I
So you
love
don't just
that.
come in here like not knowing which direction you're gonna go. Like if you have a vision, like we can help you make that possible.
Yeah, 100%. So I want to ask you some questions about time because this actually came up with one of my newer market partners and I just asked you before this, but I
Mhm.
want you to talk about, your schedule because you're a nurse. Well, I don't want to get into it. You do it. Talk about your schedule, how you make this work with what you do, and sometimes crazy shifts.
Yeah. So I'm actually like insanely busy. I run around all the time and I'm a travel nurse. So I move every 3 months. So I pick up all my belongings. I bring my husband with me. He's also a travel nurse and we jump around all over. We just finished up in Oregon and now I'm in California. So it can be a little difficult, right? Because most of my customers are in Indiana, which is a different time zone. But I've kind of got my routine. I've kind of got things down to where I stay up a little bit later if I'm working night shift. And I kind of like punch out like 30 minutes to an hour of like good solid work before I go to bed because I know that like I won't wake up. Like if I
honestly, I props to her. I could not do that because when I get off of like a really long shift on my feet, like as a hairstylist, like I come home and my brain is done. I'm not trying to have any conversations with anybody. Like, hell no. Like, and in most cases, I feel like that's how we are as humans. Like, when I get home from work, I don't want to work more. No.
if I say I'll do it before my shift starts, like I'm lying. I'm not going to. So I have to do it before I fall asleep. And then, on my lunch break at work, I just like do some things in the middle of the night. On day shift, if I got a lunch break, I'd step away and like kind of eat and do some work there too. But sometimes
So you're just like working on every break, hoping that it turns into a paycheck. Yikes.
I'm on the road and I'm like driving or in the passenger seat and like texting some of my clients, or I'll jump on a FaceTime real quick and
You're texting some of your clients while you're driving or FaceTiming while you're driving. I know she said sometimes she's in the passenger seat, but she only said sometimes. So please don't do that.
good quality conversations, even though my schedule is wild and bizarre. What
Mhm.
about you being at home, like with the kiddos and stuff? How do you do it
So
all?
before we move on from
Oh,
Claire, you guys, I just want to say that this girl, she travels around the world and she still figures out a way to work her business. And that is why she is like the number one fastest growing leader in my organization. She makes it happen regardless of what's going on in life.
yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing. I feel like everybody's always waiting for the perfect time to get into their business when it's calmed down, when they feel ready. That literally doesn't exist. with life. There's always something going on.
I mean, she also does have an advantage because she does travel, so her network is constantly growing, so she can introduce it to more and more people versus like cold calling and cold messaging on the internet, which is like what other people would have to do if they don't, leave their house often or travel much. So I will say that, like, that's if you have the advantage of a consistently growing network,
Always something coming up. You're never
if you have the advantage of a consistently growing network, then yeah, it would be definitely easier for you to grow your team and business.
to feel ready. Ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You just decide, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go all in and make it happen. And that is how you see major success in this business. But
Yeah.
for me, as a mom, I have two littles at home with another one on the way. I don't have any help. Like, I don't have a nanny or anything. I think one day I will get a nanny. But I think right now I love being in the mix with my kids. I love doing the packing the school lunches, school drop off, school pickup. I mean, putting my babies down for naps. I love doing those things because one day I'm going to look up and my kids are going to be through that season of life and I don't want to have missed it. All the little moments, you know. So I do it all.
I wonder how many moments she actually does miss because she's constantly on her phone working her business, doing these calls and these trainings and all that because they can say all the time that like you can put it in little pockets of time, but they're probably spending a lot more money when you are a lot more money, a lot more time. Even like being a travel nurse. I mean, I have a lot of them that are clients of mine and they only work a few days a week. So they definitely have, especially if you don't have kids that you're taking care of in between, you're only working a few days a week. So she can say that she does it before she goes to bed or whatever and on her lunch breaks and stuff, but she also has days, complete days off that she can focus more on doing this.
I figure out how I just like Claire, I figure out how to do it no matter what's going on. So nap time in the morning before the babies wake up, at night when they go to bed, and everything in between, I really make it work. There are times when I'm hosting calls or hosting lives with my babies on my lap, and I love that. Yes, sometimes it's hard, but I like it because this business.
See, yeah, and then you're splitting your attention between like your baby and your team. And I mean, that's fine. It is kind of nice like in theory that you have that flexibility, but it's like so consistent when you're in that position and like cuz you can't take a break, you can't take a day off. They shame you for that. You just can't.
Is for
Mm.
moms. This business is for, well,
And stop saying it's for moms. Like stop it. Stop also shaming moms for having jobs and taking their kids to daycare. Like, can we not do that either? Like, that's great that you get to be home with yours, but we don't need to shame moms for having like jobs where they have to leave their house. Like, that is absolutely okay too. You can do that and it'll be okay. You're still a great mom, okay?
not just moms, but it's for busy people. And it works for everybody if you make it work. So that means showing up when you don't feel like it, showing up when it's super inconvenient, showing up when, you've promised somebody that you would. You
Showing up when you're busy, showing up when it's super inconvenient. But isn't that what they sell you on, the time freedom and like the fact that you can work your business whenever you want? But here it's make sure you work your business every second you get some downtime. It's just two contradicting things. I don't like it.
just make it happen, and it's okay if it's a little bit messy. I always tell people, it's, you guys, it's shampoo. Like, we're not doing like open heart surgery. This isn't anything too crazy. It's shampoo. We're helping people love their hair and showing people how to run their businesses. And I like it. I've stepped into this leadership role and everybody's like, oh, tell me like your tips as a leader. And I'm like, truly, like, you just guide your
So we're taking tips as a leader and how to lead a team versus like what are some sales tactics and some sales tips so I can sell this shampoo. Again, just proving that income comes from, the recruiting and having a team, not selling shampoo.
team by doing. You do the thing. So I'm showing my team that, hey, I have kids like on me, climbing on me. I got like spit up on one shoulder, but I'm showing up. I'm showing up messy because messy is better than not done at all. You know what I mean? So I'm just, I just lead by doing and do it messy most of the time.
You have to. especially when like the kids are on there, like, you know, you can't predict the day's gonna go. Like you're kind of just like doing
Right.
as flows, and some days are going to be harder, some days are going to be easier. But
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned something earlier about like how I've done the business all over, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
people can come up with as many excuses as they want, but if it's important to you, you'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important to me. It's important to all my, you know, I take care of my customers very well. It's important to Jordan. She feels the same way. And so when someone asks me like, how do you do your
It's important because you make an income. Be real. Just be real.
time, like I don't even have to really think about that too much because like it's just in my schedule. It's just part of
Mm-hmm.
me. It's part of like what I do, and it just comes naturally.
Yeah.
The
I
next
love
thing
that.
that I wanted to kind of talk about was like
Yeah.
money. I hear a lot of people saying like, okay, I want to start. What does that look like?
Here it is. Are you ready? Let's see what they have to say about like making money, as if that hasn't been what this whole conversation has been about either.
Like how much money would that be? Or like
Mm-hmm.
don't have enough money. So what are your thoughts on that?
When people tell me that they don't have enough money, that is my favorite thing because I'm like, girl, that's why we need to do this. Like, I
No, stop doing that. Stop being like, well, if you don't have enough money to start this business, that's exactly why you need to start this business. No, no, babe. If you're like, that $200 has to go to my mortgage, or that $200 has to go to my energy bill, or that $200 to join has to go to my groceries, please don't invest in the business, invest in the business. Go go to the grocery store, pay your energy bill, do that instead because that's a better use of your money. Doing this is not, because 99% of people do not make any money or lose money. And if you're not making any money, but you're investing the $200, that's an automatic loss of money for the majority of the people.
don't ever want you to be in a position where you can't invest $200 in yourself. Like, you don't have a $200 oh shit fund. Like, everybody needs that.
But some people don't have that. And if you're just starting to build your $200 oh shit fund, as she says, you know, or there's, you know, if you're just starting to build it and maybe it is only at $200, this shouldn't be the first thing you spend it on. Spend it however you want to spend it. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but I am telling you not to do it here.
I saw a stat recently and it was like the average family needs like an additional $800 a month to live the same life that they lived last year. And I don't know about you, Claire, but like, I'm not cutting $800 from I'm not
Never.
like, we're only going up. So that means I need to make more income. And that's the beauty of what we do here. Actually, speaking of, we just got a new report on our end, like on our back end and like our back office. And you can go back and break down your income every month, every year. And I've been able, since I started this business, to give myself over a $10,000 raise every single year.
Income claims, girl, you're not allowed to do that. You're literally not allowed to do that.
Where do they do that? Nowhere. Nowhere. At your 9 to 5. And it makes me like so sad when I hear my friends that have like 9 to 5s. They'll give you like a 3% raise, but it's so wild to me because inflation is like what, 7-8%. And you're like,
All right, but that's a guaranteed 3% raise, and your 10 grand raise is not guaranteed, especially with what's going on now with this company.
oh, like I lost.
Like, I don't mean to be like she has to be lying, but just I've seen other leaders talk about how they are losing money in their company, in their company, in this company, in Monat. So I have a hard time believing that this is true. While I don't know for sure, either way, she still can't say it's an income claim, and she's not allowed to say that regardless. So don't do that. It's really misleading information because it's not going to be possible for everybody.
Money, but they gave me a 3% raise. And I'm like, that's crazy. Here in this business, you get to decide exactly what you make. And what I love about this is
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you did, I wouldn't even be doing this right now. I would still be selling it, making, $200,000 a year because that's what I wanted to make. I don't know. I just threw like a random number out there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if I got to choose my income with Monat, I didn't. I busted my ass and I did not choose my income. And I'm telling you guys that just because you do the work does not mean you're going to make the money. That's not how these business structures, they're not set up for success. So just don't do it, please.
that if you're willing to put in the work in the front end and the beginning stages of your business, you build something sustainable. You build out leaders in your team that are self-sustainable. They do the same.
No, you don't, especially in those first few months, because those bonuses that you make in your smart start, which is like the first 90 days or whatever you're in the company, you get to make, like, you get extra bonuses within those first 90 days. So like if you build a block, one market partner and 4 VIPs, you get a bonus for building a block. And then if you build 4 of those, then you get like $100 bonus or two. I can't remember what the numbers are or what exactly the stipulations are, but those first 3 months, they are definitely not sustainable because you only make that money for the first few months. Those bonuses are then taken away, and then you really have to emphasize that on your downline to do that, so that way they make that money in the beginning, they get excited, and they stick around for longer, so that way you can maintain an income for yourself. That's how this whole thing works. It's not sustainable, and don't let people tell you that they are.
Thing. And as you're doing that, you're accumulating these customers, you're helping them love their hair and their skin, they're becoming obsessed with the products, and they continue to reorder. And the beauty of like the way that it works with our clients is that when they enroll.
You know how many times like I had people cancel their auto ships and then they still got charged and sent? How many times I canceled mine and it still got charged and sent to me? And it's terrible, terrible. And then like you can't talk to customer service because it happened to me after I terminated my account. They sent out an auto ship after I had already sent an email to terminate my account. So I couldn't return it because my account didn't exist anymore, but they still charged me for it and sent it. And I took all my credit card information off of my profile. That's just not good in itself. So don't get wrapped up in this, please. Not even as a customer. There are other products that will do great for you.
With you to purchase products, they're your client for life. So when they go back into their account to reorder, which they will, because once you try these products, you literally don't want to put anything else on your hair. You're going to still get commissions. That's how you get that residual income, and it builds up over time. But you have to put in the work in the front end in order to see like that major success down the road. But the bottom.
And those residual incomes that I got personally, I'm going to tell you what I made because it's not an insane income claim. Like she's making it seem like you can make a lot of money residually. It was like 10, $15 a week. It really wasn't that much because you don't make much on just selling the shampoo. If you want to make the 6 figures, it has to be done by recruiting people. She's saying one thing, but like I'm just trying to break down what's actually going on here.
Line is you get to decide what you make here. You guys, we can make up to 45% commissions, and we get like 10 different bonuses on top of those commissions. And a lot of those bonuses are really tailored to new girls in the business so that you can really.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, and they're bonuses based on, like, you have to have a team and recruit people underneath you to get those bonuses. You don't get more commission because you've sold more product. Because you sold more product. That's just not, it's not it.
Hit the ground running, make back your investment of like your product pack, products that you would buy from Ulta anyways. Well, but these are better. But these just come with the business attached, and you're going to get a hair transformation. Like, it's just so crazy to me.
No, and right now we have our $150 coupon going. So basically you're buying your product pack. That's what she's talking about, like the box or a business in a box. So you're buying your products that are specific to your hair type, your hair concerns.
Also, no, that's not true because the product pack options that you get, it's not a build a box where you get to pick the products that you want and need. I hate that too, where like it's customized to your hair type. No, it's not. It's absolutely not.
And then your business comes along with it, and we turn around and give you $150 to shop with for skincare or makeup, whatever you.
So you're not getting, it's a $150 coupon. So it's just they're forcing you to buy more product, but you're not even sure, because I wonder how long you have to use that. You're not even sure if you like these products yet, right?
Paychecks. Like if you want to make a set amount, like you put in the work, and that's what comes from it. So if you don't have a lot of time this month and you're okay making less, I hear a lot of people saying like, okay, I want to.
But if shampoo is not the dream, this can be. But it's so wild to me because inflation is like what, 7-8%, and you're like, oh, like I lost money, but they gave me a 3% raise, and I'm like, that's crazy. here in this business, you get to decide exactly what you make. And what
Mhm.
I love about this is that if you're willing to put in the work in the front end and the beginning stages of your business, you build something sustainable. You build out leaders in your team that are self-sustainable. They do the same thing. And as you're doing that, you're accumulating these customers, you're helping them love their hair and their skin, they're becoming obsessed with the products and they continue to reorder. And the beauty of like the way that it works with our clients is that when they enroll with you to purchase products, they're your client for life. So when they go back into their account to reorder, which they will, because once you try these products, you literally don't want to put anything else on your hair.
Mhm.
You're going to still get commissions. That's how you get that residual income, and it builds up over time. But you have to put in the work in the front end in order to see like that major success down the road. But the bottom line is you get to decide what you make here. You guys, we can make up to 45% commissions, and we get like 10 different bonuses on top of those commissions. And a lot of those bonuses are really tailored to new girls in the business so that you can really hit the ground running, make back your investment of like your product pack, products that you would buy from Ulta anyways. Well, but these are better. But these just come with a business attached, and you're going to get a hair transformation. Like, it's just so crazy to
I
me.
No, and right now we have our $150 coupon going. So basically, you're buying your product pack. That's what she's talking about, like the box and or a business in a box. So you're buying your products that are specific to your hair type, your hair concerns, and then your business comes along with it. And we turn around and give you $150 to shop with for skincare or makeup, whatever you want. But I like that you said that like you work as hard as your Friday paychecks. Like
Mhm.
if you want to make a set amount, like you put in the work, and that's like what comes from it.
So she says you put in the work for your Friday paychecks or whatever. Like, yeah, that's the commission. And your bonus paychecks come on, I think it was the 15th of the month. And those paychecks are always going to be way more. And then you won't get a bonus if you don't recruit anybody or if your team isn't active underneath you. Like, I've been there, trust me. It's not how they explain it at all.
you don't have a lot of time this month and you're okay making less on your Friday check, like then you get to decide that nobody is like telling you what to do. Like this is all on you and what time you have to put into it. So
Exactly.
I like that because some people at work have told me that at their like monthly or sorry, yearly, annual, like meeting with their boss that they've gotten like a 25-cent raise, and it makes me want to cry. And
That's like a slap in the face.
I've never
But they don't have to do any more work. They're getting paid more to do the same thing. And you're just like, you can only get paid more if you do more work. Like, I know inflation sucks, but like this is just the statistics aren't there. You're guaranteed that money at your 9 to 5 job. You're not guaranteed that money here, even if you put in more work.
done that because I've always been a traveler, so I'm contract work. But these
Yeah.
people who are working their butts off in the hospital and they tell me that, I'm like, 25 cents? Like, oh my God, I can't
Like,
even.
keep your 25 cents. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like actually just keep it. I think I'll be fine.
No, that adds up. It doesn't add up to enough, but it does add up. And again, the point again that I've said, it's guaranteed, and this is not.
That is, yeah, it's just crazy because I mean, and honestly, with an opportunity like this is something that you could do in addition to,
Mhm.
say, for instance, your friend that got a 25-cent raise. This is something that they could do in addition to that. But I've also seen people come in and like take this thing by storm and be able to leave their full-time jobs. I
Mhm.
have friends that have completely retired their husbands and they do this full
Yeah.
time.
Nobody's retired their husbands. They got their husbands to quit their jobs, and that really sucks because now you don't have an actual retirement to go off of. Now you literally have to do this for the rest of your life because now that's the only income that's supporting the two of you. Yikes, it's like terrifying because you're telling your husband, who probably has a job that has a good like 401k and retirement plan and all that stuff, all those amazing benefits, and be like, nah, fuck it, let's just do this. You don't have a job that has the benefits and the health insurance and all that. And that it's risky, especially if you have a family and, heaven forbid something happen and then you lose this income. It's just not, it's bad. In my opinion, it's not good.
My friend's husband was working, I think he was off like 4 days a month, you
Oh my.
guys. And he worked crazy hours, was gone.
And again, I forgot to mention that they're not retiring their husbands. They're like fully just having them quit. Retiring gives you a income afterwards. They're just now relying on the Monat income instead of, which is unsustainable and not consistent. It's just
in the morning before the kids woke up and came back like around dinner time, and it's like that's that's not a life. Like we were not put here to like grind our lives away. Like we're supposed to live. So anyway, she was able to retire her husband and bring him home, and like now they just like live the life. And it's like that's what this business can do. And say for instance, shampoo was not the dream, which I don't think for Claire and I it was either. But if shampoo's not the dream, this can be the vehicle to get you to where you want to go. I have friends that want to open like aesthetic to, you know, say for instance your friend that got a 25-cent raise. This is something that they could do in addition to that. But I've also seen people come in and like take this thing by storm and be able to leave their full-time jobs. I have friends that have completely retired their husbands and they do this full time. My friend's husband was working, I think he was off like 4 days a month, you guys. And he worked crazy hours, was gone in the morning before the kids woke up and came back like around dinner time, and it's like that's not a life. Like we were not put here to like grind our lives away. Like we're supposed to live. So anyway, she was able to retire her husband and bring him home, and like now they just like live the life. And it's like that's what this business can do. And say for instance, shampoo was not the dream, which I don't think for Claire and I it was either. But if shampoo's not the dream, this can be the vehicle to get you to where you want to go. I have friends that want to open like aesthetic spas, and this is what they're using to like gain the capital to be.
I mean, you could also just like get a serving job on the weekends or work at Starbucks or something, like just for just random examples. You don't have to do this to gain capital. You can do other things. Like you can work a regular job and save money.
I have friends that have done that. I have friends that have boutiques because of this business. I have friends that have started X, Y, and Z or bought Airbnbs because of this business. So it's like this might not be the end all be all for you, but this can be the vehicle to get you to where you want to go. I will say this wasn't the dream for me, but I really think I'm going to be selling shampoo until I'm old and gray. I love it. It's so much fun.
Okay, so and then I think about myself.
You're going to be recruiting people until you're old and gray. It's not about selling shampoo. All right, I'll stop repeating myself.
I was a staff nurse before. Now I'm a travel nurse. The reason I began traveling was one, to see the world, like, you know, go out and explore, but also the freedom of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have so much freedom. I can take a lot of time off and go do all those things. Now I'm a newlywed, you know, life. We're thinking about like, you know, down the line, what our life is going to look like. And eventually I want a family. And when I have kids and all of that stuff, I'm going to want that freedom again. When you have children, think of 12-hour shifts, daycare prices, all that stuff. I'm out in California and I'm not a California girl. I'm from Indiana originally. I'm not used to these prices out here. And I think of some of the like daycare prices, all that stuff. And I'm like, how?
Well, you're a travel nurse though. What are the chances of you actually staying in California on your next contract? Or, you know, you just get offered a permanent position and then you're making good money in wherever you're at. You could just go back to being a regular nurse. I know so many people that do that, and you can make a solid, sustainable income doing that.
Will I ever do that and own a house and grocery shop and all of those? But what Monat has done for me is showed me that freedom is kind of like an opportunity here. And if I put in the time now and I work hard, then one day you're going to be seeing me with my family at home, and I'm going to be home with them. And I mean that, like I'm already on my way there. And so that's what I see here. Like, yes, put in the time now, get a little bit of money, buy your product pack so that way you can have that freedom down the line.
This is so sad, just the way they target like single moms and in the don't you want to be home with your kids. I hate that. It's so gross.
You can enjoy that time.
Yeah.
Alexis,
and I mean, I like to, I want to touch on the money thing one more time, because I feel like people, they're like, oh my gosh, like 149, I can't swing that. But let's take a step back. Forget about the business. Let's think about the bundle of products that you get. This isn't the bundle exactly that you get, but you do get 5 products, and you get to pick 4 of them. Okay, you have your shampoo, conditioner, your freaking 2 styling products, whatever. That's worth $149 in itself, okay? And our products last 4 to 6 months.
Right.
So if you break that down,
there are other products that are way cheaper that will also work for your hair that are professional products.
over the course of 4 to 6 months, it kind of breaks down to pretty much cheaper than what you would spend on drugstore products over the course of that time. Again, because they last so long.
That's not that's not completely true. At the end of the day, the way your products last for as many times as you're going to shampoo your hair. Essentially, some products are more concentrated and those tend to be more expensive, and then the ones that are less concentrated have more water. It's a whole thing with hair products. I use Kevin Murphy and I really like Kevin Murphy. It is pretty concentrated, it's pretty thick. I only have to use a little bit. I can shampoo my whole head. Sometimes I got to shampoo it twice to get all the product off, shampoo it a second time. That's when it really sets up, and that's what happens with super concentrated shampoos, where if you get like one that's less expensive, that's more watery, you're going to go through it faster because one, it's going to come out of the bottle faster, and it's just you're probably going to use a little bit more of it just inadvertently. But if either way, it's not going to add up to that much money depending on how much you're washing your hair. And if you start using Monat, it's not going to make you need to wash your hair less. If you need to wash your hair every day because it gets too oily, that's absolutely okay. There are no rules there. I only wash my hair once or twice a week. I prefer it because, well, my hair doesn't get super greasy. I don't need to wash it. And I don't like my toner to fade that fast. So that's just my routine. But everybody's routine is different, and everybody's routine is okay if it works for you. Stop demonizing washing our hair too much because it's really not a thing.
Right? I think it's like $18.
Yeah.
Less than that. What is it?
Like I just did like quick math and it was looking like around $20.
$20 a month? Okay. So you're going to spend that anyways on drugstore.
Wait a second. Let's go back to the fact that they're saying that it lasts so long. So we're breaking it up to $20 a month because it lasts like 3 to 4 months, right? So then how are you even making that much money in commissions if people are only purchasing this stuff like twice a year, 2 or 3 times a year? Clearly that's not a sustainable commission. Even if you were making like 45% of that purchase, you make that once, 2 or 3 times a year. That's just not that much money. So like, it's just very contradicting and doesn't truly add up. I mean, products aside, whatever works for you and whatever doesn't, however much you're going to use, how much you're going to wash your hair, whatever, all of that aside, what they're saying is that you don't need to use it that much. Residual incomes just truly won't be much because people aren't ordering them that often.
Like even if you use the bottom of the barrel type stuff, the difference here, it lasts longer, it's better quality, and it comes with a business attached. Like it doesn't make sense to not do it. And you get the $150 coupon. So I'm like, sis, if you don't have the $149, find it. Sell some clothes at Plato's Closet and get started in this business so that you are never in that position again. Ever. Claire and I can show you how to make back your $149 in a freaking day. Like that's easy. Exactly. That's so easy.
And then to hit your first rank in the company, we need to teach 4 girls, we need to teach 2 girls the business side of things. There's 2 people in your life that I know could use a little extra income or, could build a savings, all of that stuff. And then there's also 4 people in your life who want to try your product. So if you can work on 6 people in your life, anyone around you, aunties, cousins, grandma, mom, anyone to even support you, our first rank is looking at $400 to $800 alone just in like bonuses. So
but only if you can recruit people will you make that much money. Yikes.
There's so much potential here, and then you're making that $150 investment back.
They just like make it sound so much worse by they're trying to make it sound better, but it's like it's making it sound worse.
Plus some up to 800.
Yes, it's a no-brainer.
It really is. When you break it down, like it's actually like so simple if you just focus on like numbers and then like of course like a service attitude of helping people, like it all comes together and then it just starts to like snowball like you said.
Yeah, I think something that might hold people back is again what we touched on when we first jumped on is people looking at us like, oh, like they're seeing our chapter 10. They didn't see our chapter 1 where we were so awkward. We had no idea what we were doing. I don't think Claire had that phase actually.
No, I did somewhere in there.
But can you talk about that a little bit? I want you to talk about like the skills that you acquire in this business and the access to mentorship and all the different resources that we have.
Yeah, I mean, like immediately once you buy your product pack, we have like an onboarding training of like our girls. You're not listening to like a whole bunch of random people you'll never meet. You're onboarding with people that you actually will be like talking with every day. So you go through those videos and then we immediately jump on a one-to-one call. So we're going to be talking about your goals, how much money you need for your family. And like those are important to us. We're writing.
This is immediately going to take up a lot of your time. That's what I heard.
down, because in a way, like, we want that for you too, so we're going to be working our booties off to help you get there too. Okay, so then you get added into some chats, and like, it's people across the entire country. So if you are in Arizona and you are maybe feeling alone because the rest of the team is in another state, there's so many people in Arizona that also do this, so there's a whole community there you can join too. We have a whole back office, so once you say yes, you basically get like this whole online world of all our product knowledge, our hair care. There's hairstylists on our team, so like, there's never ending information, and like, these are people that you can
I hate that. I was one of those hairstylists, and I was essentially on a team of a lot of hairstylists, and it gave it too much credibility, and that was how I ended up in it. Ugh. Don't just because people say that a hairstylist is on their team, it does not mean these products are better and that you are going to be more successful. I mean, I was a hairstylist and I could not recruit people to save my life, to be completely honest. And it's not that I'm not, it's just that people sell through it. And I wasn't 100%, I mean, I wasn't really 100% like buying it. But I mean, if you've seen my story of my Monat story, the most detailed one is when I did my interview on Julie Anderson's channel. So feel free to go watch that. But yeah, it's I
pick up the phone and call. Like, that's how close we are to everybody. So don't ever get nervous if you're like, I don't have the skills, I have no idea where to begin. I know science, but I didn't know hair when I started. So I learned that, and I just literally watched all the girls' like videos, their Instagram reels, and I just started taking notes and like just mimicking it, or like making it my own almost, and my own little spin to it, and then learn the lingo as I went, because I needed to learn the whole hair care side of it, and just started watching.
I like how she said learning the lingo. Now I think she just meant like understanding like hair care products because that's what you're selling. But you're learning the lingo of MLM. They have their own language, like understanding upline, downline, sideline sisters, and all that. It's like their own little language, and it makes you feel like you're part of this community. And it's very much a cult tactic. It's very culty when there is its own kind of language attached to it. And yeah, ugh.
Videos that other people before me have done already.
Yeah.
What about
And
you?
over my time in the business, like we have lots of Zoom calls, like Claire was saying, where, people are training on different topics. And I have saved every single call and put it into a page for just our team. So I mean, I know Claire knows this. You can go in there and literally type any topic within this business, and you'll find a training on that topic. If you struggle with social media, there's probably 100 social media calls in there. If you're like, okay, I need to learn more about these products, you can get in there and you'll find tons of calls on the products. And that's what I love about it, because again, the resources are endless. And then when you partner with Claire and I, we will both be working with you one-on-one. Like, you get that one-on-one time. We're at your disposal. This is what we do. We're like fully invested, all in, and like as far as your success goes. So never feel like this is something where you get in here and then we're like, all right, best of luck. Right. Like, our job is not complete until you reach the level of success that you want to reach.
I agree. I agree. So never think you're going to be jumping in here alone. Like, we're always here for you. It's summertime almost. I know that there's like a month left of school, I think. I don't know. I don't have any kids around me in school, but
less than that.
I don't
Ava's
even
done that like this month.
But I've had so many teachers and like college kids reach out to me. So if you think about it, the teachers and college kids are going to go a couple months without any income, or the students are going to have more time on their hands. So you guys specifically, like, we can onboard you all together if this is something that
No.
you're interested in for the summer and you feel like diving in and learning some new skills. Like, reach out to me and Jordan, because we can get you onboarded and get you making money for the summer and all the vacations.
I have always said that I wish I had, this wasn't around when I was in college, which makes me feel so old. But
it was. You just didn't realize it. It was just a different company name. Mary Kay's been around for a while. Amway's been around for a while. There's just so many companies that were absolutely available to you when you were in college. You just didn't see them as in your face as they are now. And it sucks that you still ended up in it anyways.
I always said that like I wish this was around when I was in college because I was an athlete. I had practice every night. I had meets on Saturdays. I worked doubles on Sundays. So like I literally never had a day off. And I'm like, dang, I wish this was around because this is again something that you can fit in like the nooks and crannies of your day. Like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, those long bus rides to track like meets, like I could have been working my business in between classes, in between studying, instead of going to work that one double, and I would make more money here. So
Exactly.
it's like this is perfect for people like that.
I agree. So if any of you teachers or college kids, anybody on here, like reach out to us because we got some people onboarding soon that we can all just kind of like jump in together.
Yes.
Jordan, you have anything else to add?
No, I think that was amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll be here again next Thursday for our third week of this opportunity series. So we'll be sending out a little flyer and then just jump on. All are
Yeah,
welcome. Thank you, Jordan.
if you guys have any questions, DM Claire, DM me. We're an open book. I always say this, like if you don't ask the questions, you're never going to know, and you want to get all of the information so that you can make an informed decision on whether this is for you or not. But thanks again,
Exactly.
Claire, for having me.
Yes. Have a good day.
You too.
See you.
Bye.
Oh, and they're doing it Thursday. Again, they're doing it in another week and then another week. I wonder how long this series is that they're doing. But as you can see, they're still trying to recruit college people, moms, teachers, people that most definitely cannot afford to lose money. And meanwhile, we're seeing the entire company is kind of falling apart behind the scenes, but they're not going to say that. They're just going to keep moving forward and try to make sure their organizations themselves don't fall apart. And it's just so cringy, and it really sucks. And you guys, if you've been watching these opportunity calls, if they come up on your radar, I hope you find this video some sort of informative and not just me shit talking Monat. I'm really trying to pick apart, and there really isn't a whole lot to pick apart to prove that. Just go look at their income disclosure statements. You will know that, which is funny because the last one they did I think was for 2022. So they haven't even released one for 2023 yet. I think maybe it's because it's not June. I don't know. But they haven't been releasing those income disclosure statements as much. Not all companies do, but when you do look at those, that's when you can really see this Monat train wreck. And it should be pretty interesting. But thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I love you. Your time is much appreciated, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.